Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Family Crest quest. Wow, it's a bit of a tongue twister there, isn't it? Okay, so for this quest you need the following requirements. You need level 40 crafting, smithing and mining, and you will also need a level 59 magic. All the required skills can be boosted. You're also going to need to be able to defeat a level 84 demon called Chronzon, but there is a specific method you're going to have to kill him with, which is magic, hence the magic requirement, but I'll talk about that a little bit further on. That's it for the requirements. On to the items. You're going to need the cooked version of the following: shrimps, salmon, tuna, bass and swordfish. Only one of each though, but just make sure they're cooked. You will need 2 cut rubies, also an anti-poison potion. A super anti-poison or anti-poison mix cannot be used, it just has to be the standard anti-poison. You will also need to be on the normal spellbook and have runes to cast all 4 elemental blast spells, so air blast, water blast, earth blast and fire blast. Each require a certain amount of obviously the relevant elements, so if it's fire you're going to need some air and fire runes. Now the blast spells are actually required to kill the demon I mentioned a few moments ago, but they need to actually damage the demon, so you're obviously going to need to bring a few extra castings of each, just to avoid the possibility of perhaps your spell missing. So if you bring a couple hundred of each type of the elemental rune, that should prove enough to be able to defeat the demon and have enough spell castings. The only other thing you're going to need is obviously weapon and armour to fight the demon, and obviously as we're using magic, bringing the best magic weapon and armour is going to obviously benefit you the most, and obviously some food for the battle as well. So that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Varrock Lodestone, which can be accessed via the Lodestone network. If you don't have this one unlocked, in the description below I have a guide on how to unlock the full Lodestone network, which helps speed up quests quite a fair bit. From here, the quest starting point is to go into the fenced off area of Varrock, which is sort of northeast of where we are now. So we're going to head in that direction. If you just watch where I'm going on the screen, I'll show you where the quest start point is. So once you're in this fenced off area of Varrock, we need to go into this building here and look for a man called Dominifes, and you need to speak to him to start the quest. So he'll tell you that he belongs to the noble family of Fitzarmon, but without his family's crest he can't prove his heritage and take back his estate from the king. His sons took the crest when they left to defend Varrock against a horde of zombies sent forth by an evil necromancer, and he doesn't know what happened to them afterwards. He has however heard rumours that his eldest son Caleb is now an aspiring fish chef and is currently staying with a friend just outside the western gates of Varrock. So we're going to go find the first brother, which is called Caleb, and he can be found inside Gertrude's house, which is just southwest of the Grand Exchange and northwest of the Varrock Lodestone. So once again, if you just watch where I'm going, I'll take you to the direction. So you should see him either outside the house or inside the house. It will depend on the current world you're on. You want to talk to him and he'll tell you that he and his brothers broke the crest into 3 parts to avoid one of them interfering with their father's wealth, and in their shame they took a piece of the crest each and set out on their own ways, unable to face their father. So since a broken crest is of no use to anyone, he agrees to exchange it for some fish that he needs for a special and unique salad. So what you need is to bring him a cooked version of a shrimp, salmon, tuna, bass and swordfish, all which are obviously cooked, which you should already have with you. So if you speak to him again straight after, you should give him all of the cooked fish, and he'll then give you the piece of the crest as promised, along with a little bit of info that the gem trader in Al-Qarid might know more about the location of his next brother, Avan. Now you must make sure you ask Caleb about his brother's whereabouts, otherwise the gem trader's dialogue options will not be available when we go speak to him in a moment. So make sure that Caleb has said about his brother's current whereabouts. So next we're going to head to the Al-Qarid's Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once there, we need to head to the gem icon on a minimap, which is the gem trader, and speak to him. And he remembers talking to a high and mighty person of noble blood looking for jewellery made from perfect gold, and he directed him to the gold pit in the desert. So what we need to do is start heading north of where we are now towards the Al-Qarid mine, and we're going to look for the brother called Avan, who is the man with a yellow cape wandering around, so you should spot him when you get a bit closer. Speak to him and he'll tell you that he is trying to win the affection of a certain lady by gifting her with a ruby-studded ring and a necklace made out of perfect gold. Unfortunately, this stuff in the desert isn't nearly good enough for him, and he'll tell you about a dwarf named Boot who might know the whereabouts of this perfect gold. So now we need to head to the Dwarven Mines, which is below Ice Mountain. So if you teleport to the Falador Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once there, follow this path to the northeast until you get near the Dwarven sort of encampment and climb down the ladder, and you'll now be in the Dwarven Mines. Boot can be found in a cabin to the southwest of the general store, so again just watch where I'm going, I'll lead you to him. You want to talk to him about the elusive gold, and he'll tell you that the highest quality of gold can be found in a small dungeon near Witchhaven, although it isn't easy to get to it. So, we need to head to Witchhaven now. Quickest way to get there is to go to the Ardome Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once there, we're going to head southeast through East Ardome and keep following that direction, and eventually we'll reach Witchhaven, and you should see an icon on the mini-map for the dungeon, and there should be an entrance to climb down. So I'll speak to you in a moment. So once you climb down the old ruin entrance, you want to keep following the path and then head south to a small caged area that holds a couple of hellhounds along with the perfect gold rocks. Now to the north and south of the two rooms are levers with that are inside and outside. Now before we can access the caged area, we need to complete a lever puzzle. Just a note, if you log out while doing the puzzle, you will have to start from scratch, so just bear that in mind. But that's also handy in case you make a mistake, you can then just obviously log out and log back in to reset it. So to unlock the room, this is what you need to do. So first, go to the northern wall and pull the lever up. Then head into the southern room and pull the lever up. Next, go back to the northern wall and pull the lever down. Then enter the northern room and pull the lever up. Then leave the room and pull the lever on the northern wall up again. Then go back to the southern room and pull the lever down, and the Hellhound room should now be unlocked. If for any reason it's not, you've obviously just made a mistake, so just log out and log back in and repeat what I just listed, and it should work for you. But once you're in the room with the Hellhounds, I believe they will try and attack you, so it's up to you if you want to try and kill them before mining the gold, but they'll probably respawn. Either way, you need to mine the 2 gold ores in the room until you've acquired them in your inventory, and then you need to head to any furnace to smelt them into the perfect gold bars. There's one just near the Alcarid Lodestone which we need to head back to in a moment anyway, so I'd recommend going to that one. So I'll speak to you in a minute. Once you're at the relevant furnace, you need to use your gold ore to turn them into gold bars. Next, use your one of your rubies and one of your gold bars to make the perfect ring, and then obviously the other ruby and gold bar to make the perfect necklace. Once you have the perfect necklace and perfect ring, you want to head back to Avan, who is in the Alcarid mine, and once you hand them over to him, he'll give you the second piece of the crest and tell you where to find his brother, Jonathan. So, the last brother, Jonathan, is staying in the Jolly Ball Inn, which is near the lumberyard. So, quickest way to get there, really, because we're not actually that far from Lodestone, it's just to keep following north until you get out of the desert area, and then keep heading north, and eventually you'll reach the lumberyard, and the pub that he's staying in is just nearby. So, I'll speak to you in a moment. Once you're at the Jolly Ball Inn, you need to go on the first floor, and in one of the bedrooms you'll see Jonathan. You want to talk to him and he'll tell you that he got bit by a poison spider and you need to use your regular anti-poison potion on him. He'll be very grateful and relate to you about what happened, and apparently Jonathan attempted to kill a blood demon called Chronzon. Unfortunately, he was defeated, and in his efforts to escape was bitten by the poison spider. When you ask him for the third part of the crest, he says that he dropped it while fighting Chronzon and that you must go and retrieve it. So this is the part of the quest that I told you about, using the different elemental spells. So in the battle, it'll be a sort of regular fight against the demon, which he is weak to magic anyway, so that proves useful. But you need to hit him at least once with each of the elemental spells. If you don't, he will regenerate. So what you need to do, to find him, you need to head to the Edgefield dungeon. So the quickest way there is to go to the Edgefield Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once you're at the Lodestone, you want to head southeast in the direction of the bank, and then slightly south of there is the Edgefield dungeon entrance. Once you climb down, if you keep heading all the way north, and then you'll see a path that sort of winds round to the left, and it will actually take you into what is classed as a wilderness related area, but I don't think there's actually much risk of you being attacked from players here, and if that does happen to you, you can just simply run back a couple of paces and you'll be fine. But in this area you'll find Chronzon. So the way I would go about it is this: if you set your fire blast spell as your automatic spell, obviously initiate your fight with him. During the fight, if you drag each one of your elemental blast spells onto the ability bar, like you can see on my screen, so you've obviously got wind, water, earth and fire, simply just click the wind one to start with, and then your character will cast a wind spell once before he then carries on with the fire. Once you see that the wind spell hits, obviously then repeat that for the water and then repeat that for the earth. Once you've done that, because you've already been auto casting fire, you would have been doing some damage with him, and you can simply just finish him off with your regular abilities while Fire Blast is set as your auto spell. So like I said, it is important just to make sure that you do hit him at least once with each of the elemental spells, otherwise he'll regenerate. So when you do click to cast air for that sort of one casting, just keep an eye on it actually hits. If you see that it misses, just click it again and obviously keep repeating that until it does hit him. Other than that, the actual battle against Chronzon is not that difficult. It's just making sure you have hit him at least once with each of the 4 elemental spells. But because he's got a fair few life points, you should be able to sort of guarantee to hit him at least once with all 4 of them before he ends up dying. When you do finally kill Chronzon, grab the last part of the crest piece and leave the area. So now you have all 3 crest pieces. You can put them together to make the family crest, and then you can make your way back to the quest starting point, and if we give the crest to Dominifus, he'll be very pleased to have it back. So I'll speak to you once you're in the area where we started the quest. So, once you hand over the family crest, he will congratulate you and thank you, and it will come up, "Congratulations, you completed the family crest quest." Not that tongue twister again. You're awarded 1 quest point, the family gauntlets, access to the Hellhounds in Witch Haven dungeon, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So, overall, pretty easy quest. The only sort of tricky bit is obviously the battle against the demon, but as long as you sort of follow what I said, you shouldn't have a problem at all. Main reason for completing this quest is obviously this is a part of the quest storyline that leads up to Defender of Varrock, Curse of Arav and Temple of Seniston, which gives you ancient curses, so a lot of you are probably completing it for that. The other really good reward from this is the family gauntlets. So with these, they have a useful ability. You can take them to any one of the 3 brothers and have them imbue them with a special ability. You can only have 1 ability activated at a time, and if you wish to change it, it will cost you 25,000 coins, and you obviously need to take it to the relevant brother. So the 3 abilities you can get, if you take the gauntlets to Jonathan, who was the brother in the Jolly Boar Inn, he will change them into Chaos Gauntlets, which increases damage from bolt spells by 10%. So really, out of the 3, this is the worst one, and to be honest, a lot of you won't really do that. Since there's a massive difference between blast and bolt, the gauntlets will not make that much difference. So the 2 useful abilities you can get for that, the other one is if you take the gauntlets to Avan, who we found in the Alcarid mine, he can turn them into goldsmith gauntlets, and this increases the smithing experience you get from smelting gold from 22.5 experience to 56.25. Now that goes up by about 30, so to you it might not sound a lot, but however this does also count for using the superheat item. So if you, for instance, really wanted to train your smithing, a very sort of cheap and quite common method, actually a lot of people do this, you can superheat gold ores with the gauntlets equipped, and you'll get obviously higher smithing experience than you normally would, plus you get magic experience as well. So a lot of people do tend to do that method. I know I did that for a little while to get my magic on my main account to quite a high level. And then the final ability, which is also very useful, is called the cooking gauntlets, and that's to take them to Caleb, the brother who was at Gertrude's house, and that reduces the chance of burning certain fish by a few levels. So obviously with cooking, after a certain level, food will stop burning, and these gauntlets help you stop burning fish after a certain while. So just to sort of throw this one out there, swordfish for example, normally swordfish obviously require level 45 to cook. Normally the level that they stop burning is 86, however if you've got the gauntlets equipped, the level is actually 81, so you can guarantee to stop burning swordfish from that level if you have the gloves. The other thing is obviously sharks. Now sharks never stop burning at a level, even 99, however if you use your gauntlets, they'll stop burning at level 94. So if you're aiming for 99 cooking, you could decide you're going to cook sharks from level 94 onwards with the guarantee of not burning a single one as long as you have the gauntlets. So they're a very useful item, but like I said, most of you will probably only use them for either the cooking ability or the goldsmithing ability. Many people don't really bother with the chaos one. But yeah, not a bad reward, and like I said, you just need to take them to the relevant brother and they will charge them with that ability if you give them 25,000 coins. But yeah, I don't think you'll get stuck following my guide. However, if you do run into any problems at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best as I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.